Hi everyone. So my name is Matt Wallace. I'm very glad to be here today talking about this issue. 6 minutes to talk about something like artificial intelligence is pretty tight. So we're not going to go very deep, but I want to challenge some ways that we think about this, frameworks that can help us navigate this challenge. I'm not sure anyone else felt as attacked, maybe, as the opening video of the conference yesterday. I felt targeted. Okay, so from the esteemed professor, I don't know how to respond to it. So I felt like I had to actually rewrite this a little bit because of some of the issues that were brought up, and I love it. I think it's amazing. It's perfect for this network to talk about these issues in these ways. So I want to make two confessions. First off, number one, I know you're all wondering, but ChatGPT did not write this presentation. I wrote it. Okay. And you can know that because the jokes are great. Pause for laughter. That was great. Nice. Thanks for... I really did write it. So, the second confession, okay, now I get honest with you. I'm actually not entirely sure we should be doing this. I'm not entirely sure we as an industry should be heading into this path, into this direction. And that's a good thing. And by the end of this talk, I hope you see why that tension is good, why that concern or that fear is a good thing. It's a good thing for our network. AI is obviously a buzzword. It can mean so many different things, but I want to be specific today. I'm talking about language learning models. Large language models. I can mess it up too. I'm no expert. I'm a practitioner. Large language models are the kind of things that tools like ChatGPT are built on. Okay? And that matters because ChatGPT is essentially a prediction machine. It takes the average of all of the combinations of words and the prompt you type into it to essentially predict what the next word is. And that's important because arguably a large language model is incapable of fresh, new innovation. Let me say that again. Large language models like ChatGPT are arguably incapable of fresh, new ideas. And is that entrepreneurial or what? No, it's not. It's not entrepreneurial at all. So that's really important, but it is necessarily a useful tool. It's obviously turning upside down all of our assumptions about how value is created in market economies. We have to deal with it. It reverses a lot of our assumptions. So at ONOW, we're running 3 experiments. I'll talk you through them real quickly. And I say experiments because we're not exactly sure what's going to happen with these. And these 3 experiments come from a prototype AI bot that we built called Bizzy, B-I-Z-Z-Y. You can check it out later, bizzy.onow.com. It's out there, anybody can use it. But we did 3 different experiments. Number 1, we experimented with a program delivery, a specific curriculum with specific learning outcomes that we wanted to deliver through a very individualized experience. Every person in the program had a different experience, but the learning outcomes were the same. They all got different journeys. The learning outcomes were all the same. Secondly, we worked on building business models with Bizzy. We helped the participants actually design their value propositions, design their understanding of how they would approach a customer. These are the experiments we've been running. And number 3, we gave them basically like an Ask Me Anything coach. Someone you could go to and say, oh, what should I do about this? Or what should my business be? And I'll tell you, I'm fearful about that option because that's most of what's out there right now. So our focus, really interesting during this conference, we've been a little bit tenuous about this idea. All the conversations I've been heard, we're definitely hesitant as an organization. We're reasonably cautious. But that is so contrary to the whole tech world. Every other conversation is, yeah, let's do this, but we are cautious in this conference. And I think that's really important to understand that we have a mistrust, and that means we need some frameworks to think differently about this. So I want to introduce this framework to help us decide if we should go all in on this. So first off, we haven't put things naturally on extremes. We think binarily. We think one or the other. And oftentimes, extremes are suboptimal. One end or the other, even if it's not the best outcome, we will stake ourselves to one side or the other. And we're going to think about some of the extremes that we face as we consider our business support programs and systems. And I want to challenge us to, instead of putting these things in opposition, I want us to think in terms of tensions. I want to take the extremes and put them across each other with this very useful 2x2 grid. And we're going to focus on the top right corner, okay? The top right corner is the best optimal outcome. It's a both and outcome. Instead of either or language, we're going to talk in both and language. Because that is the prime outcome that we can aim for, okay? So you understand that framework? Let's move into it. I'm going to deal with 3 specific issues. Number 1, I got to move fast. Content or action? If we're on one extreme, content's boring and unoriginal and irrelevant. If we're on the other extreme, entrepreneurs have to fill out spreadsheets and templates, and I promise they hate it. If we put these, though, into tension with each other, they become dynamic delivery. It's an individualized experience that's useful and helps develop growth mindsets. We're discovering that AI can help us do this. Things like GPT can help us do this. Secondly, should we serve all of the entrepreneurs, or should we serve a few very deeply? Let's take them out of opposition and put them in tension with each other so that we can start to have some really amazing ecosystem level impact. This is power. If we have deep relationships with many more entrepreneurs, we start to influence entire ecosystems. AI helps us do it. Third, should we have technology-driven programs or touch-based programs? This is my favorite one, because what we are out to do when we put these in tension is we're supercharging coaches. We're supercharging mentorship. If we give mentors the tools to be better mentors, to be stronger mentors, to leverage incredibly deep, rich individual information in a way that helps them actually mentor better, they can not only mentor more people, they can mentor more people more effectively. If we put these two in tension with each other, this is what we're discovering with our experiments in AI. So back to my confession. I'm concerned about this because right now some of the tools out there say you can eliminate loneliness with AI. And that's terrifying. That is the worst thing I've ever heard. What business should I start? That is a terrible question. But if we use AI effectively and build really useful frameworks, we can actually find ways to impact entire ecosystems. Now, our industry produced something called the Galley data. Okay, Galley data about acceleration. It's amazing data, and what it shows is that we, number 1, should be serving entrepreneurs with networks. We need more people because they need more opportunities to sell. Number 2, they absolutely need mentorship. They want this. Look at the Galley data. It says it all over the place. You know what's at the bottom of the list? Skills development, training, content. Unfortunately, content is not desired and not useful. What AI does for us is it helps us offer network and offer mentorship and lets us offer individualized experiences so we can get away from templated, boring content. So come along on this journey with us. I'm going to skip through. I'll share this. You can see it online. I'll share it to you in the Hoova app. But my thing here is that if you do this well, I have a hint for you. You can charge. Your ESO can actually start to be a little more sustainable if you do this well. So come along with us. If you scan that QR code and share your email address, it'll take you to a site. I'm going to share a ton of data. We're going to share a ton of insight as we go on this journey. It's just a start here. So thanks so much for letting us share a little bit about it today. 6 minutes, right? There's not enough time to dive deep. So come along with us over the next few weeks.